How you doing, YouTube? Another Taurus High Point production coming at you. What I'm going to discuss today, everybody knows what this is. It's a powder flask if you're into black powder. I shouldn't say automatic, but if you don't, that's a powder flask. It's one made by CVA. It's plastic. They've got them in brass, metal. You can buy powder horns. That's a 20 grain spout. You can buy them spout specific. This little guy, he's great. It's what you call a powder measure. You measure out your powder from your flask to the charge size you want in here. Move this over. Take this, dump it in your muzzle loader. But you want to make sure that when you do that, these numbers match the powder load you're seeking. I honestly only do about 20 grains in this, 25 grains in that little CVA Jucar 44. I had it at the range the other day. I was testing some caps I made, seeing if they would set off the charge that was in there. I'm going to get that video up to you also. I forgot to take the camera. I've still got some of those homemade caps left, but I'm going to take the camera with me to the range and shooting the percussion cap with the homemade caps and it setting off the charge. But that's a different video. Let's get back to this one. As I was doing that, every second or third shot, I take a brush, run it down my barrel, pull the brush out, then I'll take a patch, wrap it one time, run it down with the brush, and pull it out, and it's all black and schmutty. You know how it gets. You know, in between doing this, I fell on some, I call it old behavior. Some say it's bad behavior. There's automatically a 20 grain charge in here. I told you. I just shook. Took it, I dumped it in there, and ran my shot, and my bullet, and shot the pistol. Turned it back over, pulled it to half cock, popped the cap out. Then reseated another charge in here, and I dropped it back down the barrel. There was somebody else there, and he came over. He told me that, you know, I may or may not know that doing that, I am exposing myself to flashover and Flask grenade. Oh, yeah, because, yeah. Well, if you'd have seen me the shot prior, or the shot prior to that, I ran my brush, and then I ran it. It negates all of that, and I'm able to. And he was swearing up and down, jumping, that I still had to use one of these. Okay. Let's set the record straight. Flashover can happen with that. Flashover can happen with that. Flask grenade only happens with that. The metal ones, the brass ones are worse, but even then, when you do that, you have to be holding this button down, counting your charge. You know, you load, say, most people shoot 40 grains in one of these. Some do 35. I do 20. But I know, boom, there's 20. Boom, 20 is in. Okay? Some of them will boom, there's 20. Now I hold the button down, 1,000, 1,000, for my extra, for the 35 grain, for the 40 grain. Well, when you're doing that, and it's at one of these, I call them club shoots, club jobs. And what it is a bunch of reenactors playing soldier, revolutionary, civil, or a bunch of people playing pioneer. They do have those like pioneer days, and they go out and they don't shoot live lead. They shoot a little bit of powder and a wad. Well, they do that, and they do that continuously. And even though running the rod is a safety, they don't do it because they're having fun. And then when they would try that 1,000, that's where they would get their flask grenade. When they would dump their powder in their 40 grain spout, and then that's where they would enhance their flashover and be burned. Yes, it can happen. But if you're taking the proper safety steps, or the gentleman is on the range taking the proper safety steps, and like every third or fourth round he's supposed to swab, that is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There, with the brush, there was no way a hot ember is going to be left in that barrel. None. Like I said, I usually run the brush, and then I wrap a patch around the brush, and then run it again. That's me. That's how I was taught to shoot black powder. A lot of people go out there, take their rifle, and play this, Revolutionary War, Pioneer Day, and Civil War reenactment, and they will not swab that barrel until they get home, where they actually have to clean that weapon, or that rifle, or that. There are more chances of it happening there, and odds are, all these stories I hear about it, that's where it happened at. It didn't happen on the range with the guy being safe about it. So you don't need to run to somebody every time you see somebody loading 20 grains. Oh, you just loaded from your flask, but what you don't know, a round ago they ran a brush. Or what you're not accepting is that 2 rounds ago they ran a brush and a patch, which pulls all that out of that barrel. Even if it's a rifle or an inline, it doesn't matter. The guy who is shooting safely shouldn't have to put up with your nonsense, because that's what it is. It's nonsense. Somebody told you it happened. You took it to heart because you trust them. That's not on me. I'm doing what I do safely. I'm doing what I do to make sure I get home. Yes, I may have one of those with me. But if I'm shooting this guy, odds are I'm not using this. I'm dumping my 20 grains and dropping it in. I'm not holding the lever open. I do my 20 grains and drop. Odds are that's what I'm doing. But then again, with the same respect, after that second or third round, I'm running that puppy. Oh, yeah. Because if I forget and just, it's a pain in the. Yeah, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Come over here, drop my 20 grains. Okay. Close this off. And you gotta read it and re-dump everything. 20 grains. Boom. There it is. Now, bear in mind, you also need one of those. If you're doing a rifle and you're doing it the same way, let's say you got an 80 grain spout. I've seen them. I don't know if they're still making them. I know that a lot of powder horns offer different spout sizes. I use the pellets in my Hawken and in my inline. I do. It's easier to do. I use my pistol and RS, my RS and PS Pyrex in here. Oh, you can't use RS in a pistol. Okay. Again, that's you. Let me be me, I'll let you be you, and we'll both agree that as long as I'm practicing proper safety, you're following proper safety. If you're on the range next to me and you see me, boop, bunch. Know that that barrel has been swabbed. I know. Not everybody does that. This is on the table right in front of me when I'm shooting. I do that. And why do I do that? Your stories and fears of the improper handling and care of these things has scared me enough to want to be that extra safe. If you're out there playing your Pioneer Day, Civil War Day, French Revolutionary Day, American Revolution Day, whatever day you want to, and you're busting caps and sending powder and wad, and you refuse to swab till the end of the day, say that. Say that's what caused your injury. That's what caused your Flask grenade. The Notorious High Point production. Overall, we must be serious and realize we choose, therefore we are responsible. I choose. I am responsible. Thank you.